So this is going to be a little bit different, but it should work. Is it? Okay. I think so. So we are live. Doing a BMW. We have all the sides in the rear. We are going to be doing this on TikTok, and we're also going to be doing this on YouTube with spicy new camera rig, mirror. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things to manage. So this is going to be very different for YouTube, but it should be fine. All right. So we have an interesting rig that we can carry around, very different from the GoPro. And we're going to get started here. But yeah, BMW 5 Series. It's kind of getting prepped, all ready to go. It's going to be sweet. We're doing, what shades are we doing? 20? We're doing 20 on all the sides in the rear. Right about there. Cool. So we're going to get this taped up. There's going to be a lot of funniness today. What's up, dudes? I got the other side taped and prepped already, outside of cleaning the windows, but we're going to do everything else. How you guys doing? Staying busy? Summertime? Slow? Things are been really busy lately. Thanks for teaching us. You are welcome, man. Thanks for being here. Tint Daddy back at it. Huh. I don't know why. Let me see why this isn't working. Oh, I forgot to hit the button. Oh, I'm so sorry. Whenever you don't hit the button, shit don't work. But it's working. It's working now. All right, so these are felt seals. So we're going to tape the sides here. And then we're going to cover the door panels because it's a BMW. I need help cutting out tints for my window. Oh, and somebody just walked in. Hey, how you doing?
This is coming back to you. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, let me grab that. Cool. Thank you. Oh, what? Somebody's certificate came back. That's weird. We sent that out. Somebody that attended the class, their certificate was here, and then turn on BMW. And then it just got sent back. I don't know. So that's another thing that we have to do. I need help cutting my templates out. We have lots of videos. I suggest checking those out. Let's go to this one. Where's my tape? There's my tape. You need to bulletproof that vehicle. Yeah, no kidding. I just got my shop advice to start getting customers. Thanks. Ooh, that's a process, man. I mean, you can do some brute force advertising through all the normal places. Definitely be listed on both Apple and Google Maps. That's like step one. Step two is to have a good, clean website where people can find you. But that kind of stuff takes time to rank. Other forms of advertising, though, are just the normal, like, you know, you can direct traffic to a website through Google. You can make TikTok videos. Honestly, TikTok Live is great for advertising, so I highly suggest going live on TikTok with any of the cars that you do. Bro is bad at this. Well, thanks for being here and watch this disaster take place. I appreciate you, buddy. Bro's bad at this fire. It's funny. Yeah, we haven't done a lot of live streams on YouTube in a hot minute. We've been too busy TikToking and then trying to figure out how to merge both of them together, which has been its own form of crazy. How do you get the bubbles out after installing? You don't. You start over, because that's why tinting sucks. So you do a bad job, you got to start over. A lot of things you can kind of disassemble and put back together. Tinting is not one of those things. That's why there's not as many. Why there's not as many people doing it. I bought a workhorse and I've cut patterns, but I can't peel off the excess. What do? You have to dial in your machine so it cuts through the tint and not through the liner. That's a process. Workhorse, Plotter Depot has a lot of videos actually explaining that. So I suggest checking out all their help videos and asking them too, because it is fiddly. Plotters are for suckers, and you could just take the glass out and put the tint on. I'm going to let you come and do that. Sure, you can do that, and then you can scratch it up putting it back in too. So, I don't know. I know, because I would have to replace window tint from glass installers that would fail putting back existing window tinted windows. I don't know. Everybody's got their own thing. Relocated? Detroit Tint Studio in Sterling Heights. Soapy water, yeah. Soapy water is a must. If you just use regular water, your tint's going to stick. How much time should one car take? As much time to get the job done. I would say if you're doing sides and rears, at least under 2 hours is good. 3 hours max. That's usually like a good limit for that. Do tint companies guarantee their work? Some do. Most should. Everybody should. But depends on what you paid and shop reputation and everything. There's some scuzzy shops out there for sure. I've been tinting 23 years. I don't use tape or a plotter. Yeah, welcome to the club. I used to be the same way. More experience, less things that you have to use to compensate for other things. This is like a teaching thing too, though, so, there is that. Why are you Detroit Tint Studio if you're out of Sterling Heights? Because Detroit is more searchable, and unfortunately it was the closest major city to where I am. This is big outside of just Michigan. Nobody knows where Sterling Heights is, that's why. All right, so we're going to double cut this. Put two patterns together, flip one opposite of the other. We're going to start making some cuts here. Oh, you know where Sterling Heights is? I don't believe you. How do you get the clear film off of the back? You can use tape, you can use your teeth, or you can use your fingernail, kind of flick the corner there. What angle do you use the blade at? Okay, so for the blade, I do this little bit right here. See that little bit holding out? Then I'm going to angle it away from the seal. So I'm going to find where my side seal is. I'm going to pinch that near the top, not crunch it. And then I'm going to poke my blade right against that seal, angle it away, and then go straight down. Being from Sterling Heights and saying Detroit is like being Kalamazoo and saying Detroit. Well, buddy, I got news for you. There's lots of shops that do that. You should look up Chicago Auto Pros. They're Lombard. They're not Chicago, but they're outside the Chicago area. That's what people know. If you want to be discoverable, you have to do things that people are going to search. Duh. Motor City. We stream your videos on our tint display at the shop. Good work, man. Thank you. I took hours to tint a car, kept redoing a few windows due to them being dirty. Is that bad and too long? No. Wow, that got stuck there. That was funny. No, taking 8 hours for a car early on is not a bad thing. I say, like, you should shoot for 2 hours, but that's always a goal that you can work towards. You're never going to hit that right away. My first car that I did after training still took me 6 hours, like, at least. If you don't know what you're talking about, shut up. It might have to be done on the inside. We'll see. All right, now it won't get caught up here. So what might have happened is that it caught this little painted section right here and then shifts my pattern up. Always make sure that it's free of painted surfaces, stuff like that. How long have you been tinting for? At least a week. I have no patience for this. I don't blame you. That's why I pay people to do my yard work. I don't have patience for that either. Okay, now our pattern is sized up, but we still have all these corners. So we're gonna do some simple cuts here, shorten all that up. You can eyeball it, you can use a straight edge. Any tips for a sun strip? Sun strips are really straightforward. What you want to do is with your sun strip is just take a short roll of film. You're going to put it across the whole windshield. And then you're just going to trim off the sides and the top. You don't have to do anything about the bottom. There really isn't much shrinking or anything that you need to do either. You can usually get away without shrinking them, but it depends on the car. I do a BMW like this in 2 hours. Yeah, I hear ya. BMW drivers, I don't know. I'm not so worried about them anymore. They used to be a nightmare for me. But I'll tell you, part of that was also what we were charging. We used to have a lot of people, like we used to do cars for like 160 bucks. Like this was other shops that I worked for. And what that brought in was a lot of picky BMW people that didn't have anything better to do other than be picky about their old-ass BMW that they brought in. Because anybody that's paying 160 bucks for a tint job that owns a BMW doesn't have a brand new one. So that honestly brings up more problems than you might think. So I hate that that's the case, because doing a less expensive job on a car should honestly come with some caveats there. But a cheap job is considered the same as an expensive job in most people's eyes. They paid for a tint job, so whatever they pay, you have to do a good job, period. So the cheaper you charge, the more annoying that it's going to be. Any tips on how to promote and get customers? Go on TikTok right now. You see that? Like, that's nuts. We're just freaking tinting a car. I've gotten quite a few clients off of TikTok right now. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all being here. You can always do like regular advertising, stuff like that, but like treat your customers well. You can let them know that you're streaming, and then they tend to share it with other people that are friends of theirs, and then they get their cars tinted too. It's like a win-win. How long does a windshield take? I'll plan about an hour for a windshield. They'll take shorter than that, but if you fuck up a windshield, you don't know until like the very end, and then it's gonna cost you a lot of time. Where's your headgear today? I'm not wearing the GoPro just because I want to be able to do both of these. There, we'll make sure you guys are wiped off. How much and where do I go? Sterling Heights, but call. Do you think Blackmagic tint from Walmart is the best? Oh, it's the greatest. There hasn't been any better. I suggest everybody go locally and get that. What is this? Is this? Okay, I was just making sure I had a sticker on this one. All right, again, double cut. We're gonna take a big old piece of film. We're gonna put this on the outside of the car. We're gonna cut off that piece. We're gonna take our knife and we're gonna chop this off. There, that's split in half. Now we're gonna take that extra piece of film that was sitting like this, and now we're gonna flip it around, and it's gonna be like that. Can you tint a motorcycle helmet? No, I suggest buying a tinted one. Motorcycle helmets are not glass. Anything that's not glass is going to need something else. So just buy a tinted visor or tinted helmet. It's probably going to be cheaper too than actually paying somebody to do it. All right, first step, trim off the bottom there, get a nice flush edge there, so it gives the tint something to rest on, and then you can tackle one of the sides, doesn't matter which side you do first. Then you're gonna cut one of those, tear that away, always tear that away. I thought it goes on the inside. No, we're being spicy today, we're putting it on the outside. So then you're gonna drag it over in that same direction. You're gonna go to the other side, and you're going to shorten up your pattern on this side now. All you're trying to do is trying to make your pattern line up with these and also be a little bit wider. That way you hide any gaps. After you do that, drag it down. Are you tinting only half the window? Yeah, duh. I think we're tinting the whole window. What is he thinking? All right, now we're gonna slice off this top edge here. You guys wanna get in nice and close for this? So the way that I make these happen, lazy. He's so lazy, he doesn't go on the interior and remove all the door panels. He's lazy for not taking apart that guy's brand new nice BMW. What a lazy tinter. All right, so we're gonna take our knife. We're gonna go 3 clicks out. About that, 3, 4 gives you a little bit of blade to rest on. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna push this in and you're gonna rest this on the top edge of the window. I like to use that plastic and wedge that tint right against the glass. You get a nice clean shear. The thin blade does really good at slicing through the film without many snags or anything. Perfect. We're going to go back over here. Not lazy. He's so lazy. What a lazy tinter. Yeah, right? This is my first time tinting. Chill out. I'm not doing too bad. What's your favorite kind of window tint? Ceramic? Do the plastic knives prevent that line up top? Yes. So you still can get a great cut with your NT knife. I love NT knives, been using them for years. If you press too hard with the metal, you will put a little line into your film. Also, there's just something about the plastic holder that just makes it a little bit easier. We tried both. We tried the NT blade or NT holder, and we also tried the plastic holder. And people starting out had an easier time with the plastic blade holder. Have you ever tried a marker for double cutting? We're gonna get into that a little bit more into the future. There's a couple nifty things right along that. I really like that though. Yep. Sharpie and a hand cutter actually, so you don't even need a glass board. Okay, so we're setting up all these patterns now to be shrunk. So glass is curved, film is flat. So when I do this, you see these things popping up right there? Those need to be shrunk. So grab yourself a Wagner. Look at this. This is like 30 bucks from the hardware store. This is the most popular, awesome heat gun that you can buy for cheap. You lift it up from the bottom here, and we're just heating up the very bottom. When it's wet, it's going to take a little bit longer to dry out, but if you can sweep most of the water out, it'll dry a little bit faster. Then you start seeing those lines right there. That's cool. We're going to do a little wet check. Probably going to have to shrink it just a little bit more. I just want to get it readjusted. Do that. Show that heat gun again. Hang tight. We got 4 more doors to do. See, we got some little guys right there. If you snap shrunk your window and you still have little fingers popping up at the bottom, these are still going to pop up on the inside. So then you want to lift it back up. Tighten up those little bottom edges there. Just get that to go a little bit farther. And there you go. It's perfect. 10 out of 10. Let's jump over to the front window because we're here. We're just going to go around and shrink all of them. So my tip for snap shrinking is put your hand here. Grab that corner, little tension, pull it across the window here. And then take that gun and heat up just that very bottom. There you go. That's all shrunk. That's ready to go. Why not just shrink the fingers? You can. Sometimes you'll have fingers pop up on the inside still. This is faster than that. All right, same thing here. Grab that corner, heat gun. I always thought the tint was on the inside. That's silly. Why would you think that? Nah, it should go on the outside. 100%. Always put tint on the outside. See these? Those are gonna pop up. I got 85% ceramic tint to do my car. Nice. It's gonna help keep it cooler, my man. Somebody find the owner of this car. No, we gotta put it on the outside. All right, so let me grab a stool here, and then we're gonna start on that passenger door over there. Yeah, it's like, it's legal if you put it on the outside of the window instead of putting it on the inside. All right, you guys know. Let's put this right about there. Cool. We need, what happens when you need to scrape the ice off? Park it in the garage. Why is it outside? Or you remote start it for an hour before you get in it, and then there's never any ice on it. Why are you scraping ice off your car? We have technology to handle that now. I heard it blocks out more heat, and it's clear if it's on the outside. Yeah, that's how you get that effect. Dark on the outside, clear on the inside. Right? Because if you put the tint on the inside, that makes it look really dark on the inside. But if you put it on the outside, then all of a sudden your tint's on the outside, so it'll look lighter. Right? Right? I don't know. Some dumb tinter told me on TikTok. I'm going to take his word for it. All right, so let's wipe off this edge. Look at that. Just keep going over that a few times. It's oh, it's not laminated. It's just a thick boy piece of glass. How long have you been doing this? Just a couple days. I think you got smart glasses. That's it. It's the glasses. I got the Google glasses early. No, not Google. The new Apple ones. I got those. We're testing the new ones. Probably a narrator reading the comments. What is that narrator's name? All right, so now that we got that nice and cleaned. Oh, now it refreshes. There we go. We're definitely not gonna put this on the inside right now. That's not what we're doing. We're not peeling this down halfway. We're not spraying it. We're not going to set this on the inside for long-term tint protection and all that. It's not what's happening now. All right, we start with the long side. We're going to roll up just the tint portion. We're going to slide that evenly, nice into my seal over here. And then we're going to pull this side back We're gonna roll this into it. Illusions. What are you spraying it with? Soapy water? We're using a product called Tint Slip. It's not just baby shampoo, but baby shampoo in most cases will be like okay. But with Geo, you need something a little bit more slick, and that's what I'm using right now. So we don't want it to get stuck while we're trying to install it. Make sure that there's no gaps on this boy. Wow, that is a deep, this is deep right here. How long does this take? You're not in a hurry. You're watching a tinter on TikTok. There we go. Have you snap shrunk a back window? No, because you don't need to. All right, cool. We're finally over there. I thought I was putting this way too far forward. I'm putting it just far enough forward, though. This job here is not too expensive. This one's $290. This is using my most economical line of film. Pro Classic, still a good film. Not going for heat rejection there. I showed them the box and talked to them about the options, and they just wanted to go standard, so that's fine. These are so deep. All right, important, make sure all those bubbles are squeezed out at the top, because once you roll this window up, you're not really going to be able to reach them. Same thing for far into the seal there. Use something like a tri-edge card, that's going to help with that. Make sure your film is stuck, and we're going to roll that up. I've been installing tint for 149 years and you're doing it wrong. Dang. I know a lot of old people that are doing stuff wrong too. It's just a regular garden hose, that's fine. I mean, you might as well just hook it up to your spigot, it's already there. It better be made out of gold. No, because then it'd be very reflective and distracting. Why don't you do computer cutout? Because I'm better than a computer cutter. That's why. Why is it so expensive? $290 for all the sides and the rear is not expensive. Why is everything expensive now? That's the right question to ask. Everything just got more expensive, period. I use a pressure washer to install the tint. What PSI pressure washer do you use to install the tint? What, this little guy? We don't talk about that little guy. He's the shank. Don't get stabbed, though. Yeah. $300 for my front and rear glass. Well, so it depends on the vehicle and the type of film that you're getting to as well. Also, everybody's got different films. So I could buy you guys a cheap roll of ceramic and install it for cheaper, and then I wouldn't have a very good long-term business now, would I? You got the Apple Vision early, how? I talked to Tim Apple. You guys know Tim Apple? We're on good terms. Why should it matter about the car? The biggest thing for me on the car is going to be like the year. So this is still standard price. I charge the same for this as I do a Focus. I don't have a problem with most cars, but my standard price is going to be a little bit more expensive than some other people's standard prices to compensate for a lot of different vehicle types. And also so I can spend longer on TikTok. Tim Apple. Tim Apple gave me the headset, duh. That's what I'm wearing, the version 2. How much for a Tesla? If it's a Model S, it's normal. If it's a Model Y, it's normal. If it's a Model X and we're doing the sides and the back, it's going to be more expensive because those doors are fucking weird. And then for a Model 3, it's more expensive. I would charge myself more anyways because that back window is giant, so you need a oversized roll. There are lots of videos on it, though. So I don't care if you went somewhere and you got a less expensive job and you're happy with it. That's great. I'm so happy for you. But if you haven't been to any tint shop and you're shopping around purely on price, get your friends to go to the cheap place first, then you know if it's going to be okay. That's my best suggestion there. Teslas are for liberals. Nothing like making a company political. It's so funny. Don't get them 5G robots in your skin or anything. What's the white tape for? Because I've only been tinting for a day, and there's felt on the sides. So I need to make sure that doesn't get into my job. What are you using to protect the door panel? That's the newer door panel guards. You can find those at 313tint.com. We added the same tape here to the plastic. Nissan Rogue, how much? That would be standard pricing too. It'd be $290 for all the sides and the rear. Ding, ding, ding. You are correct. Ceramic does block heat. I've learned tinting from my YouTube. Nice. How much for a passenger window? I start passenger windows at $50. If there's removal, it's going to be an extra $25. The price of all those individuals will not add up to the same price as a full tint job. It's actually cheaper to get a full tint job, pricing it per window. But one window, $50. The corner window is huge. I don't think I can cut the excess off of the back and use it for that quarter window. But you see how big that one is? It's big. Big for a quarter window anyways. Regular people have no idea what I'm talking about. Is Lexan tint good quality? Lexan is kind of rough. Their Pure Max is going to be more recommended than anything else. Everything else is kind of rough. When will you get in the clay bars? Soon, I hope. EarPods? What? It's the Apple Vision. Is Blackmagic okay? If you just want to tint your front doors, you want to get some film, have some fun, yeah, absolutely. Get their cheaper one, though. Like their ceramic is actually blurred, like their ceramic is fucked up. It does not look dark. It looks hazy. I have a video on my channel about that. I got my windows tinted yesterday. When can I roll them down? Okay, I am not the shop that tinted your windows. Always go by their guidelines, because if you have an issue, they're going to be the one to handle it. Not like, hey, this TikToker said I could roll them down right away and everything would be fine. In most cases, you can roll them down right away, but you want to wait a day or two. In the summertime, in the wintertime, 4 to 5 days, up to a week max. Just give it a couple days to be on the safe side, though. I have seen some really dumb shops go like, hey, this window peeled within a month. What'd the customer do to cause this? And it's like, the customer didn't do anything. They just used their car. That's your problem, buddy. $50 per window is good, just for like 1 or 2 windows. Oh wait, no, 60. Did I say 50? It should be 60. Because I charge $120 for front doors. That should be how that works. You make that look easy? It can be easy. You just have to do it for like 15 years, and then it gets a little easier. Have you heard of Protect? No. No, I have not. Okay, so what are we doing? I gotta cut out some quarter windows because we're over here, and why not? At very least, get this prepped. How do you get streaks out of the window tint? Okay, so the window tint will be streaky even if you did a good job within the first day or 2, and then it will quickly dry out over that time and even out. Anything that's after a couple of days is usually something that's stuck into your film that's not going away. Want to know how I got these scars? Not from doing this all day. That's crazy. Y'all getting taxed. I'm going to use that term. Thanks. What types of cool zoomer things? I hear a lot of people say bet. I need to stay current with the times here. I need to confuse my actual customers that come in. I have a window that's getting wavy. That's unfortunate. The glue is starting to fail, and it's only going to get worse. You're going to have to remove and replace it. There's no way you can unwavy the window. I wish you could, but you can't. Do you think GeoShield will give me a small discount if I give a bulk order? Call them and talk to them about that. But it depends on what what you consider bulk. If it's a couple rolls, no. If it's like significant, then maybe. It's worth a call though. Worst thing that they can say is no. They locked me in a room with rats. Oh, that's unfortunate. You might want to get out of there. All right, so we're going to trim this out. So I'm just going to follow the line here. How much room do I have on the inside? A little bit. What about little hairs? You cannot get little hairs out. This sounds like a cool rapper name, though. I somehow watched Eminem's entire history on TikTok yesterday. I don't know, I saw one Eminem video and then my entire feed was Eminem. But it was kind of great, so I'm not complaining. All right, so this one is gonna go on this side. To keep things moving, I'm gonna jump over to the other side, but Now we need to shape this because, as some people said, that's a big old quarter window. Can an amateur do a better job than a professional with window tint? With window tinting, there's a certain skill level involved. It's a lot of like pain and frustration in the beginning. So somebody that's been tinting for a long time is definitely going to do a better job. If you just want a nice job done on your car, I suggest going to a shop. But here, should we leave you guys on this side? We can do that. You can watch this. All right, Mr. Rat, you are a little crazy. All right, so we're gonna clean this off. Make sure to get all the edges. Why are there so many cars on the road with bubbly back window tint? Because a lot of people on TikTok come in here and say, hey, that tint job is too expensive. And then they get a cheap job. And then their car bubbles over time. That's why. Cheap film bubbles. Cheap film fades. Quality films won't do that. If they do that, the shop is replacing them. So you don't have to worry about that either. Where'd my pattern go? Oh, I brought it in. All right, so we're gonna peel this. We're gonna spray this. And then we're gonna roll this in. So we got a lot of paneling, so I'm gonna kind of curl it inwards and shift it along my window. Tuck this bottom in first, slide it down, and then we should pretty much be right where we need to be, because there isn't much else you have to do with this one. As long as our cuts are right, this is going to line up beautifully. Then we're going to take that same little baby squeegee here. We're going to start, yeah, sure you guys can see better. Squeegee out all the bubbles. Does Pro Classic film turn purple? I sure hope not, because I've installed quite a lot of it. And if it did, guess what I'm redoing for the next forever because of that. That little baby squeegee does such a nice job. This little guy, Quarter Pro, this little thing's awesome. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. All right, now as for why did we put tape on the inside seals, we'll find out here. Look, you see that? You see this dirt line, right? Oh, no, you can't. You can't. Oh, my God, Kenny, just put it in frame. Your arms get fatigue / tired while tinting. No. In terms of just things that you have to do in a day, tinting is pretty straightforward. Like, there's a lot of running around a car and diving in and out of the back seat. You'll get tired doing that, but squeegeeing out bubbles, I wouldn't call it excessively hard work. I rather like it. We get to stay very clean. U-Shield doesn't offer 15% ceramic. How do you go about that? Look at their Apex line or their Carbon Plus line. You're going to want to use something else if you want a 15. You do nice work. You're awesome. Thank you so much for saying that. I'm gonna, whee! What's the easiest way to remove old tint? Watch my TikToks. All right, so we're gonna start with the bottom here. Scrape that. All we're doing is making sure that there's no stuck-on stuckies. Same thing for these real deep old seals. Where do you get tint from? You're either gonna contact companies directly to get good films, or you're gonna order them off of a handful of window film websites. I have one, 313tint.com. There's also Sun Distributing, Tint Depot. There's many other brands too, where you can buy film offline that are all good. A lot of the big known brand names are not just gonna be order online without getting your contact details and stuff like that first. Reason being is it's kind of like being an authorized Apple dealer or something like that. You need some sort of a background in that business in order to get into it. So for like Lumar, 3M, companies like that, you're gonna actually need to set up a dealer account with a company and order more film. Do you ship to Canada? I don't. I don't think they make it that far, but we are pretty close to the border. AutoZone tint is junk. For the most part, yeah, you're not gonna build a business off of it. It wouldn't make sense money-wise. That film is actually, believe it or not, so you can go into one of those places and you can buy a roll of film for fairly cheap. But when you add that roll of film, that like 10, 15 roll of film out over 100 feet, it actually is more expensive than the stuff that we're using. So I don't know why it's so bad, but they're making good money on it, that's for sure. Contact GeoShield directly and they will ship to Canada. There are some distributors in Canada. The problem with Canada is like Canada's not very shipping friendly. So no matter what, it's expensive, and then people look at that price and go like, never mind. And then you have customs to worry about. So I just hate international shipping. It should be easy, but it's not. Packages get sent back, people get upset, people get extra tax charges and stuff. It's just, it's turned into a mess and I don't want to deal with it. Will you do a boat? I'll think about it. All right, so we're gonna throw this one on the inside. Oh, come on, don't get stuck. There we go. Excuse me. All right, worry about the tall side here first. BMW's got a lot of like exaggerated paneling. It just sticks out a lot. It's kind of weird. So you have to kind of like pull the film a lot farther back just to sneak it into the seals. Unless you're not a lazy tinter and you remove the seals, duh. What's the thing you put on the door panel to prevent water? That's called panel guard. Get it? It guards the panel. He's so original. What's a good warranty on window tint when it bubbles up? Okay, so most warranties, so here's the thing. If you guys go to a shop and they tell you that tint's got a lifetime warranty, that lifetime warranty could technically not cover certain things. That is where the term color stable came from. So you could have your film fade to a different color and the shop will go, oh, yeah, it's a lifetime warranty against these things, not against bubbling. Or most of those shops are just dumb and they'll go, I don't know. You got to pay. It might the company has a warranty, but you still have to pay to get it redone. Those shops suck. What an actual warranty means, and when somebody says lifetime, there could be some little differences there. But in my eyes, and with this film, what it means is if this bubbles, if it fades, if it peels, anything that would cause it to just fail over time from natural causes is going to be covered under my shop. So if 5 years down the road, your back window bubbled up, guess who's redoing your back window for free? Yay, me! So I sure as hell hope that this film is going to last a long time so I didn't get put in that position. And if it were to fail, guess who's hitting up the company that sold me that fucking film to cause those problems? I will, not you. You don't have to worry about that. You should have peace of mind, like, oh, they're going to take care of it. That's fine. I'm going to be panicked as all hell because any film that fails that I installed would scare the hell out of me because that means that it's installed on a lot more than just your car. Yep, I keep the lifetime warranty as long as you own the car too. If you sold it to a dear friend, I'd probably still honor the work because, like, I gave the car to my son. Ha! Different. No, I'm kidding. Wouldn't do that. That's stupid. Because here's the thing. Like, I just don't like having to worry about issues down the road. That's why I don't really nitpick about the price of the film. Whatever the price is to do a good job, that's just what the film costs. What if there's a water stain under the tint? Then you did something really bad, and it's not going to be a water stain. There's going to be like an air streak. So some people will think it's an air streak or a soap streak. It's generally like, there really aren't those. What you're going to see are air streaks because you just left big air pockets in, and you kind of squeegeed the window out, and then an air pocket kind of like went over somewhere where you squeegeed. And then when you went to squeegee it out again, you just smeared a bunch of air. You want to keep that water collected together as you're pushing all the water and air bubbles out. Yeah, look at that. That's why we tape the side seals on this one. Then we wax it. What's up with the dots? They're still overspray on the outside. We are wiping that off right now. And then that's when we also check out the window. Same thing for this. Ta-da! How long until the car can be washed? You can wash it immediately. The tint is actually on the inside. It's okay. I know I said I was installing it on the outside. I might have made that up. So you can take your car to a car wash. Just leave the windows up for a couple days. And even then, chances are that you're going to harm it is pretty minimal. But yeah, looks good. All right, so now we got one more door to do. Maybe we'll give you guys an outside perspective on this one. You guys see the inside. Do you guys want to stay on the outside? Does everybody tint on the inside? Well, I sure hope so. How's that? Is that good? You guys want to see that? Maybe back a little farther? What's the max legal tint in Michigan that you would do? As dark as you want on the sides, and then I have some limits on the windshield. Hi. Show us how to cut. It's already cut. All right, so we're going to start. with cleaning the inside bottom portion of it because I'm going to roll the window down. Do your windows come out clean with a minimal amount of prep? Yes. Most of your dirt is going to come from installation. So the little extra measures like the tape on the sides, well, that's not needed, but it's helpful for those little pieces of dirt that like to fall into the window. It's just something less to worry about. Big things that you want to watch, see that dirt line there? Top edge of the window holds a lot of dirt. Make sure it's all scraped. Sweep it cleanly from one side to the next. And then you should pretty much have a good window ready to install. Your squeegee is what really does most of the cleaning. How do you tape the sides? You roll the window all the way down, and then you tape it. What's a fair price for removal? Most cards, I'll start $250 for removal for all the sides and the rear. There's a fair amount of shops that won't charge that much. I just am going to waste all my day trying to remove your old tint, so I'm not trying to do a lot of removals, I'm sorry. It'll easily take me a couple hours longer to tint your car, even if that removal goes well. But some shops that hire a lot of employees will then pay somebody $15, $20 an hour to remove the tint, so then they come out on top. All right, we're going to worry about the long side first. Get this up on the glass. Then we're going to roll this up. We're going to slide this over into the side. Then on this side, ta-da! We are tucked into the sides. And we didn't even have to take off the door panel. Wow, amazing. Then we're going to squeegee the very top of the window here. We just need that portion to lock into place and make sure everything's nice and covered on the sides. Squeegee those air bubbles up and out. See, just that top portion. I'm not really worried about any of this yet. Here, because some of you are going to be a little confused too. Look. Wow, so amazed. Then we're going to roll that up. Cool, car stayed on through the entire time. Then you're going to rinse this down, pull out my liner. Yukon clay 5% all the way around and a windshield strip. It would be $290 for all the sides and the rear, $60 for the windshield strip, so you'd be $350 starting. That'd be in the same film that we're installing now. How would you do a window that doesn't roll down? Go get that shit fixed. Why are you tinting a window that won't roll down? Believe it or not, this is 20. The camera exposure changes a lot, so it'll then look lighter than what it seems. That's how that tic-tac thing works. Bro is scamming. What a scam. Such a scam. Thanks. I used to have people that would come in and have fog lights hanging off the car, the bumper not attached, and all sorts of engine sounds, but they'd get some window tint, let me tell you. And you know what? I did appreciate that, but if you want a good tint job on your window, then you really need to fix the window first. Otherwise, you can do a pretty good job, but there's still going to be more dirt. And also, when you get your window fixed, if you ever do, your top area is not going to line up at the edge. So when you roll that down, there's going to be a funky gap. Price for black vinyl on my windshield. I mean, I got 2%. Do you want 2%? Is Expel a good film? Yeah, Expel has good films, for sure. Can you damage the defroster by removing tint from it? Yes, you can if you're not careful. If you use a steamer, you take your time, in most cases, they're going to be fine. All right, I need some film. I'm coming back. No, I want black vinyl. Well, sir, we tinted your windshield in black vinyl, and I'm sorry we crashed it trying to put it in the parking lot. We're going to get that baby squeeze. Are we talking about the same thing here? The baby squeegee, you can find it Sun Distributing. It's called the Quarter Pro. Do you do both sides of the windows? Why not? Why not? That's the answer. I'm using a sprayer called a tint keg. If you do a quick TikTok search, you will find those. They're pretty cool. 3-gallon spray tank, pressurized with some air, and you just got sprays for days. Sprays for days. These comments will make you doubt humanity. It's fun, though. And you know what's so cool about it is that there's so many people actually interested in what I would consider a boring thing. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Price on 0% all the way around. Your 2% is light as shit. I need darker. All right, get in here. You missed the spot. I think I missed the whole window. I don't know. Do you have problems with Honda Accords not tacking? No. What film are you using? What's 5%? I know, like 2% is like twice as dark. 5% is basically 50. All right, get that. So hot tip for when you're doing quarter windows. The most amount of dirt is going to come from up here, and it's going to rain down in your tint. So if I just soak this top edge, it's going to rain a bunch of dirt, even though it's fairly clean. So I'm going to be careful. You can soak down right below that. So from the edges here, spray that over, rinse that side over there, and mist the top. And we're going to spray our pattern. We're going to roll this. We're going to, whoa, that was like way too far back. There we go. That's what I want. Oh, don't do, I hate when it does that. Just slide, damn you. There we go. Slide. We're going to tuck this into the bottom. Make sure all those gaps, so you gotta stuff your head in there, check everything out. I used one called Tint Slip. And then when you're gonna squeegee all this shit out. Oh, I need a rag. I want to be able to see what's going on up here. Ooh, nice. I love this little squeegee. This thing's so funny. I have bigger squeegees, and this isn't even the smallest quarter window out there, but I still like using the squeegee. Sweet. What percent do you have on your personal vehicle? I have 50% on the windshield, 35 in the front, 20 on the rear. A big part of that is my wife drives my car too, and it's great to show a lot of my clients. Look at that. Look at that. Yucky. Now we're gonna wipe this all down. Which window provides the most challenge? Door windows and back windows have their own unique challenges. There's really like big hurdles. I'd say installing is the hardest thing to learn for door windows, and shrinking's the hardest thing to learn for back windows. If you can conquer those things, then you'll do good. Does that look nice? Crispy. 20% is a great sunblocker. You could always go darker, like a 15, but honestly, 20 is that awesome balance between blocks enough light, easy enough to see through, and just really comfortable to drive with. You don't even need a lot of heat block. Just taking down the glare will immediately make your ride feels a little bit more comfortable. All right, so we're gonna clean off the outside of this back window. Should I try this? I've been curious how this squeegee works. I don't know. I haven't tried this yet. I'm probably gonna throw it away immediately, but we'll see. So this one's 20. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. It needs to be drier. There we go. How come you don't got any bubbles? Because. Why would there be bubbles? I'm about to tint my front windshield on my Jetta with GeoShield I ordered from 313. Any concerns I should be aware of? I mean, have you watched any videos? Watch every video about windshields that you can, because there's like a lot of good info in all of those. What got you into tinting cars? I kind of fell into it. I didn't have a long-term window tinting career plan or anything. My dad owned a auto accessories company called Ameristar. And then housing market crash happened. Business went through a lot of suffering and became Auto Tint City. But at the time, we had a window tinter at Auto Ameristar. And then what happened was he quit, and my dad asked if I wanted to learn how to tint. My dad is not a tinter. He had somebody teach me, and then it was a lot of pain and struggle while I was still going to aviation mechanics school. I wasn't intending on staying with window tinting, but it made good money. And then fast forward 15 years later, I finished aviation mechanics school. I just never went on to do anything with it. Is that brand hung on the ceiling a good brand? Tint Depot has good films. Sun Distributing has good films. If they didn't, they wouldn't have banners up here. So yeah, definitely. What's that tape? That is called Glass Aid. I put that around the entire window. That is a cut guard, and I can see the line, but it's mainly a cut guard. So when I'm trimming this back window out, I don't want to score your window. And I don't want a bunch of comments that say, hey, how are you not scratching the glass? We put that line around it, and then you don't even have to worry about it. All right, so this is gonna dry. We spritz the window. We put a snuggle sheet over that. We're gonna have to let this dry off for a little bit. While that's drying, I'm gonna throw a towel on the inside, kind of get ready for what's gonna happen next. We've got lots of things. Are you gonna tint over the dots? Yes. We're not doing anything special to the dots because there's really nothing within reason that you can do to keep dots from silvering. You're not gonna see silvery dots on trucks and SUVs because those pieces of glass have factory privacy tint, so you just don't see that little air gap. With clear glass, you see these dots around the whole border, so that keeps the film raised. That's unfortunately going to leave a silver line around the window. I wish there was something we could do. Unfortunately, there isn't. You'd basically have to sand them flush. So you'd have to like pull the glass and meticulously sand all the dots. Or maybe request BMW makes an entirely different type of window for this. I don't know. There's nothing that you can do. What's the name of the tape? Glass Aid. DSP is also a great option. I use DSP too. The simple explanation is always dryer sheets though. Can you use Elmer's glue to hide the dots? On really heavy dotted areas, that is something that you can use. On all the dots around it, no. It's just for heavy dotted areas. And even then, it's kids' glue. Expecting it to not yellow over a long time is kind of a lot to expect from it. Super sticker. Well, thank you. TikTok, we got a super sticker on YouTube. Not sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We are drying the dryer sheet. It is wet. We need to dry it. This is something that I should have done earlier so I don't have to stand here for a minute and do this, but it's nice to see you guys. What happens when you break the glass? You close up shop real quick, you run away, and you peace? Or you fix it. You take all those little pieces and you meticulously put them all back together and cross your fingers that they don't notice. So it's overall just better to stay friends with the outline and not do anything with it? What? I don't understand the question there. So what I use this line for, you'll see when we have to cut out the film, but this line is on the outside of the dot matrix. So I cut directly on the line right in the center. You could wiggle a little bit, it's okay. You're not leaving a gap, that's the important thing. I shoot for the middle here. Then what happens is you have a nice little overlap around the entire window. That's going to prevent any gaps. It gives you a little wiggle room when you're placing your film on the inside. And also this cut strip, this is going to protect my window when I'm cutting my film out. So just all the way around, but you'll see, we'll get there. We have to put some film on my window. Why is this leaning? I feel like this is just leaning. That's okay. We're drunk today. All right, now we're gonna take a big piece of film. This is a 36-inch roll of film. It's 36 inches tall. It's gonna be about 4.5 feet wide. You can only shrink in one direction, up and down, so it's shorter than it is wider, so that's why we place it over the side. On something like a Model 3, you're gonna flip it so it's lengthwise, and it goes up the whole window. So then we're gonna find our halfway point. We're gonna just kind of tack it there, and then we have all this extra film overlapping the trunk lid here. So I'm gonna take my knife, and I'm gonna trim that a little bit short, and then we're gonna trim some of this bulk. So once we trim all this off, we're gonna organize the film and start shrinking. Thanks for my order. The hybrid squeegee is way better than Orange Crush. That's what I'm saying. This material here is awesome. Look at that. Look at that shine to it. It's just smoother. It's a better material. Same company, just different material squeegee blade. You're wasting too much material. I don't have 30-inch rolls, which would probably cover this. Most of the time I'm not, because I can take that small amount of extra film and I can use that on the quarter glasses. These are really big quarter glasses, so BMW 5 Series is just one of those cars that fits in between there. Where, yeah, we are wasting a little bit more film. But we're making good money on the job too, so. Does this line prevent you from shrinking? If you're learning how to shrink, this raised line, it's not gonna prevent you from shrinking, but it might hang you up a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna angle this gun 45 degrees. We're gonna throw that heat till the film lays flat against the glass, or you see these little like sideways ripples. That's exactly what you wanna see. And you're gonna smooth those out up until where you shrunk. Don't push the film farther than where you shrunk. Right up to there, that's where it starts bunching up again. Then you're gonna take that heat gun, you're gonna get that film to smooth out. Can you use this on the outside? We can't do anything here, can we? All right, top corner here. We have all this bunched up film. This is not gonna lay flat on the inside. We need to heat it. That'll make it shrink up, and then it'll lay smoothly on the glass. Every time we hit it with heat, the film basically shrinks together. That's why we keep it anchored on the side. They are something else. Smooth it out. Heat gun's highest settings. Watched a lot of videos. Your videos taught me the most. Thank you. I appreciate that. Doing it for a little while. That helps. We taught a lot of classes too. Teaching the classes really helped the way that I teach, even on live streams. I can't imagine listening to this for hours. The comments. Oh, it's not that bad. People are just curious. Yes, underneath the film right now, to help with the shrink, there is a dryer sheet underneath. That doesn't make it shrink. It's a waxy layer that helps the film anchor to it. So when you shrink it, it smooths out and sticks where you want it to. Super chat. Thank you. Hang on, I missed that one. I will check it out as soon as we're done shrinking this. It's crazy. These comments are crazy. Don't you put it on the inside? No. That's so silly. You're so silly. All right, last little bit here. Heat gun. Wait, how do I do this so you guys can see this better? Maybe like that. What dryer sheets work best? Good question. Snuggle dryer sheets work best. Yep, literally what you dry your clothes with, which is hilarious. That's actually not sarcasm. I know there's a lot of, I'll show you the box. I'll show you the box on that one. It's weird. I don't know why it works so well, but it does. So that's one of the things that we'll use. Look, snuggle. That's why I wipe on the window. Dryer sheet is underneath the window. Have you ever thought about throwing hands with a Karen customer? Well, I had one yesterday. Real nice though. Not a complete Karen, but it's like the nitpickiest of nitpicky things, and so I actually redid it. But whew, that one was a little tough. That is like the first time that's happened here. Brighten this up, and we're gonna cut right in the center of the line. It's okay if that wavers a little bit. I put this line just outside the dot border. You don't have to put it there. I think it's smartest to though, because anytime you're cutting on the white line, it's perfect. I did consider it. Gonna go over to this side. Throwing hands. No, I wouldn't have done that. What's the white line made of? It's a really thick PVC tape, similar to pinstriping, just a lot thicker. Pinstriping has been around for a long time. It's really thin. This stuff is thicker, so then you're not going to cut through it. Does the glass aid make it a little more difficult to shrink? I'd say probably yes. Some people don't understand tacking the sides down flat. If you stick to that where you tack the sides down flat, you're really not going to have any problems. But not everybody does that, so then it does create a little bit of a problem. Do you need very steady hands to do this job? No, Because if you watch my latest TikTok video, people are like, why is he so shaky? You just need to know how to compensate for it. I don't think anybody's hands are super steady. Okay, so see where this like clean line is right here? This is where we placed it. So dots are right here. Line is right there. So we went just on the very outside of that. So now we have a nice clean cut just on the outside of my border. That was the main purpose of it. Do you tint semi-trucks? No. Yes and no. If it's a couple doors, yes. If it's a lot more than that, then I don't think so. Is ceramic tint better? Ceramic tint blocks more heat. If that's your goal, then yes. In terms of looks, they all look good. It's like the unbiased truth about window film. I, visually looking at your car, would never be able to tell you if you had ceramic on it or not. Same thing with carbon. They're very good looking films, but so is Pro Classic. Pro Classic is a very nice looking film. It'll last a long time. People get hung up on terms a lot, and there's some mismarketing out there. Basically, you have a lot of people that are trying to make other people understand and appreciate ceramic more by kind of making up extra talking points that it doesn't necessarily deserve. But the thing is, if you pay for ceramic, you're going to be really happy for it. So sometimes people want like 100 little features to make themselves feel better about installing something that's more expensive. The biggest advantage is really the heat. It's very good at managing heat. It doesn't keep your car cold, but it helps you manage the heat. So it's essentially like putting up a shade where you no longer can feel the sun cutting through your window. All right, dudes, I'm trying to figure out how to do this because this is not the smallest of back windows. All right, here's what I'll do. Because I like you and there's so many people hanging out, we may mess this up. We probably won't. We may mess this up. I'm going to put this over here on the door. No, I'm not going to reverse roll it. What we're going to do is we're going to clean off the glass so you can see the outside nice and clear. And then we're going to go through all the cleaning steps that I'm going to do. And we're going to make sure this gets installed nice and pretty. We'll show you some tools and the whole process for installing this back window. So I'm going to take a scrubbing pad and I take all that residue off the back window. And I use the same squeegee that I cleaned it with to help speed this process up. I like to reverse roll windshields. I like to carry in back windows. Next time we get a windshield, you'll definitely see the reverse roll process. Where do you buy all your tools? 313tint.com now. I have a store. Everything that I use is in that store. Almost everything that I use is in that store. All right, so we have a little bit of scuzziness on this window. So if you look real close to the bottom edges and stuff like that, you might see a little bit of residue and stuff. It's just schmutz. It's been on the glass for a while. We're going to make sure that all gets cleaned off. Do you purposefully skip your comments? No, I answered that one. It's timing. If you're good at timing, I'll answer your question. Why is carbon more expensive? Because it costs more money. Okay, we're going to use a few tools for this back window. He skipped it. He listened to it. He processed it. He skipped it. Fucking guy. This fucking guy. You got me. I did. I was like, that guy. I'm gonna skip his comment in particular. Okay. Yes, we're gonna go over the tools one by one as we're doing this back window. Okay. You can use a couple things to clean your back window. You can use a scrub pad. Da, 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 da. Or, I feel like this should be leaned more this way. Hang on. There, we'll put it that way just a little bit, and then you can see. So other thing that I'm gonna use, clay bar. I don't really use the scrub pad too much for back windows, but for extra scuzziness and stuff down towards the bottom, dang, you guys are firing back hard at them. Don't be a comment, Karen. All right, once that's scrubbed, I can squeegee it off. And at this point, I could squeegee it off one more time and then install it. To reach these lower areas, I have a couple different tools. This one here, this is called the Stroke Doctor. I have another one called the Side Swipe. I should find the Side Swipe. I just grabbed this one first, but you see you got a nice big handle on this. You can reach down farther, do a nice swipe. For these tight corners, this deck lid actually pushes up near the glass where I only have about like a ½ inch of space, maybe less. You can take this goofy green boy here, this is called the tail fin, and you can swipe out those corners as well. He has a really steady hand. You guys really didn't see my latest TikTok. All right, so another option that works really well on defrosters is a synthetic clay bar. And you're gonna wipe that over the lines. And what that does is it helps remove any residue and buildup along those lines, cleans out the little in-between areas. And then it turns your clay bar a darker color because it's definitely doing some type of cleaning that the scrub pad doesn't do. It's not 100% necessary, but I feel like it does stick a little bit better. Did you get your AMP certification? I got my graduation certificate and I bitched out at the last test because it was gonna cost money and I wasn't going into it at that point. It also was like a ton of studying for it and I'm like, I think I'm okay. And it expires in like a year. Stupid. All right. So now that that's all scrubbed down, I'm gonna go across with my squeegee again. This is something that I'll pretty much just do from the beginning. I don't even have to use a scrub pad if I don't want to. Does the clay bar help with Chargers and Challengers? Yes, for sure. Best thing to do on Chargers and Challengers though is to turn the car on. What is this? I feel like this brake light left a little bit of a residue line here too. If you don't explain the source of how you read comments, I might throw hands. High five! Yeah! Is that what throwing hands means? Fisticuffs! All right. Once that is squeegeed off, just a little right at the very bottom, making sure all those edges are good. Get a nice layer on the window, and now we're gonna peel it. So because it's not on the back window, I gotta peel it off of the side door. Hang tight, I'll be there in just a second. I need a glass board where you can see this part along with leaving that back window clean. How can you tell if your tints are ceramic tints? Your car should feel better. So if you roll your window down and you feel a lot of sun and you roll it back up and you don't feel that sun anymore, then they're gonna be in that carbon or ceramic range. That should be like the first tell there. All right, so we got our film. We're gonna carry this in the car. And we're gonna Millennium Falcon this shit. Avoid all the paneling. Just stick it as far down on the glass as you possibly can. Then it's already in position. You feed a little bit of film up on the window, and then you scooch it, and you scooch it down. Reverse roll for a cleaner install. No. I find reverse rolls they're really, really good, don't get me wrong. I find I can do this better on back windows, which is why I still do them this way on back windows. I didn't learn reverse rolling until much later on. But I wouldn't say one's cleaner than the other, really. It's just some people don't understand how you can do this and it turns out clean. You just don't touch anything. Clean it off, scooch it down, don't touch anything. It turns out amazingly clean. Because there's nothing that can get on the window. If the film doesn't touch something, it don't get dirty. All right. So now we're gonna squeegee it out from the center. And you kind of want to go in a spiral. You just want to make sure you don't leave any big air pockets shooting back into an area where you already squeegeed. Yes, I'm actually in the car. So for this bottom area, I can't reach down all the way with the squeegee. There's going to be an area that the squeegee starts bumping into the paneling. So you need a different tool to squeegee the rest of that. I'm using this squeegee right here to squeegee out most of that. Fusion blade, Fusion hybrid blade. Oh wait, let me grab my bulldozer. And then we're going to sweep most of it with this. I like to start in the center and squeegee over. Yes, bulldozer. Ooh, that's really tight at the bottom. There's most of it. And then we're gonna use this green boy. That does a really good job of squeaking in between those tight spaces. And then we're gonna check it out. It was already cleaned, so now we're just gonna check it over. We got a little bit of bubbles right there. Quickly, we don't have much time. We have to take care of those very fast. You're a pro, bro. Thanks, bro. Okay, that's on the outside, cool. All that's nice and perfect all along here. If you, like me, had little air pockets right there or somewhere in here, I just didn't squeegee hard enough right there, but you want to get it out as quick as you can. Because what's going to happen is everywhere else is going to start tacking up, and then you might not notice, oh, hey, there's an air pocket there, and you go to push it out, and then this is already dry, so that air can't go anywhere. That's why you start from center, you work your way out. Just give it a good look over. Damn, this thing looks nice. Yay. Looks like we did a good job. So now it's just wipe down, clean up. We got to put this brake light back in. Can you pop it with a fine point needle? Down towards the bottom, it'll be extremely difficult to do that, and you're always going to notice any type of imperfection. So you could make a big spot look better, but it's not the best way to do it. Best way to do it is to start over. So that being said, there's always going to be some imperfection that you're going to find, but that imperfection should be fairly small. So how long is too long before it's too late for bubbles? So it depends. There are no like hard rules. If it's a hot day, you're going to want to get those bubbles out ASAP. It depends on how hard you pressed. And that's why it's really important to stay in the center. Work all that out so you always have water and air getting pushed out together. If you have these big fingers that all of a sudden jut into an area that you just pressed out, you want to make sure you funnel those back out the way that they pop back up. But short answer is you don't have a lot of time. If it's something towards the edge, chances are you can take care of it. If it's something in the center or farther in, chances are it's going to be stuck. I put tint on my snake tank, and that was my nice. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wow, there is a political bot. Wow, why are there so many buttons to do that? All right, there we go. Okay, what soap do you use, and what helps with adhesion? I go in the opposite direction. I like the film to slide because then you have an easier time getting it into place. This is what I actually use to install the tint. You can use baby shampoo. It's generally okay. But this is what I use for all my installs now. This is made for window tint. But no matter what, it's going to dry out. If what you're using is causing your eyes to bleed, then maybe lighten up on your soap. But you should be able to basically glide the film on the glass for a short time before it starts sticking. And then when you squeegee it, it'll start tacking up really fast. Not every window is made the same, though. Some windows slide a little bit more. Some windows slide a little bit less. I think my monopod was about to come loose. How much soap per gallon? I use 1 ounce per gallon. Those are generally good mixing ratios to stick by. But if you find hey, that's just not enough soap, my film is tacking up, then just add more. Is there tint outside that makes things more vibrant? Kind of. Not intentionally. It's kind of just like a byproduct of some films. Do you use glass aid on every window? No. So I got a little, can you guys see this little air pocket right here? Let's get you in real close. Little air pocket. Too many shadows here. This guy. little air pocket here. This can go away, but there's a little bit of water in here preventing it from drying out, even though it's been sitting for a while. What I want to do is I want to heat that up. I'm going to put my hand on the inside. I'm going to warm this up, pull it away. Don't overheat poor customer's trim. Always keep that in mind. But you're going to heat this up. You can put something to block it too, so if you want to do like this little trick here, that's fine. But I'll keep my finger on the inside. I'll warm this up. I'll pull it away, give that heat time to pass through to the inside and start drying out that little finger there. The drier it is, the better. So if I was really patient, I could let this sit here for like 5 minutes and let it really dry out. But you usually can within a few seconds. Warm it up, dry it out, press that. Look, it's gone. Perfect. So there's going to be this little stage of touch-ups. So you might have a small water pocket, you might have a small bend in the film, just minor stuff. If you have a couple dirt specks, you can crush them into the glue. There's one in the bottom left corner too. Is there? Oh shit, you're right. Oh my God. You are right about that one. I didn't catch that. Dang, look at you guys. It can't see it. I can see it down here. I can't see it from standing up here. That one's especially not good because if that's not taken care of, I can almost guarantee you that the window would peel. I'm going to want to dry this out quite a bit though. How about a hair? It's been 3 weeks. That shit not going away. Does it leave a soap residue when you dry it out? No. All right, so I'm keeping an eye on the temperature there. If I overheat it, it's going to cause it to boil. The more heat that can stay there for longer, the better. You're just causing it all to dry out. A hair after you just put it down. No, you can peel the film back and try and remove it. Most of the time it's not gonna, it's like, it depends on where the hair is. If it's on a door window, the door window is gonna be worse. If it's on the back window or the windshield, you might be able to save it. Should I take it back to be fixed? It's been 3 weeks. Well, if they told you that that shit'll dry out and it'll go away, just wait. They're just, it's not going away. So yeah, for sure. If there's stuff that bugs you, always take it back to the shop. There's like a certain level to that. So if it's like, if you're looking around and you see one little dot, yes, you're being a little overly picky. It depends on how big that dot is. But the problem is once you see it, you don't really unsee it. So like, I get it. But if you're like, there's one little dot here, there's one little dot here, there's one little dot over here, and it's like you're pointing one little dot in every window, chances are you're going to get brushed off, and there's not anything the shop could do to make that work look better, because there's always going to be something. But if there's clusters, if there's little lines, even if it's like a couple bigger little things, I'd redo it. Just, yeah, be reasonable, don't be overly nitpicky. But there's arguments on both sides, because there are for sure a lot of shops that will say this shit will dry out in a few days or a month, and your back window will look like garbage. If you're like standing back here and you see like definite things, that's just not going away. The only things that are going to dry out is, it's a little hard to tell, but there's a little bit of a streakiness. That's the moisture that has been swept through the water. There's still a little bit of water in between the film and the glass. Ignore the dotted lines. The dotted lines are going to silver out more, but the little moisture in between the film and the glass, that is going to even out, and that's going to go away. That's the normal drying process. Anything that's left over from that ain't going away. And within the first day or two, you're going to see things that are just not going to go away. It looks cracked. You look cracked. There was a super chat on YouTube a while back. I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. It's been a day. Actually, it's been a good day. What was that? Addison. Addison with the 5, thank you. I got my F350 tinted by you, and I'm loving it. Just want to say thank you again. Damn. Oh, that was actually really nice. I'm so sorry I missed that. Thank you so much. Okay, I got to put this brake light back in, and then just make sure it's all wiped off, which I've pretty much done that. I got some stuff in here too that needs to be taken care of. We got some towels. These are all done. Ooh. Probably need to wash those. We got some extra tools. These are all good. All right. Oh, cool. Haha. Headrest go back in. Brake light on this one was pretty simple. BMW brake light, a lot of BMWs will have these little clips here, so don't just like yank down on this. They will often have a little cover. Pull this off, then you have the brake light. That brake light has these clips. Sometimes they don't even look like clips. They just release from the metal tabs, and then they will fall right down. So you can tint this top portion nice and clean. Why don't you do live on YouTube? I am live on YouTube. Why aren't you watching on YouTube? It's been a minute though. TikTok is one hell of a distraction, I'll say that. All right, let me clip this back in here. Right, quick. Oh, come on. And you hear a little click. There we go. Plug that back in. Then we're gonna put this back up here. Da-da-da-da. Remaining headrests, these go in here too. Best tint, I mean, I'm a fan of GeoShield. This is 20. All right. Now we can close this up. Oh, I gotta move the seat forward. So many little things. Yeah, it's just funny that you asked, because today we are streaming on YouTube. This is a 5 series. I believe it's an M5. Hang on, guys. I gotta tighten this up. This is gonna like come loose if I don't. That's why it was leaning. It's got like M5-y things on it, but I don't think it's an M5. I think it's 5 series. It's an M, what is it? It's an M-Spec 530i. What the hell? So you got little M badges on the wheels. You got M-ish things about it. But yeah, it didn't, the thing I didn't, it's not on the back. So I didn't think so, but I didn't know they had an M-Spec 5 series. So thanks for clearing that up. It looks sweet though. Look at this thing. It also has M seats. I guess there's a lot of car companies that do that. Ford does that with like their ST line, where it's like you can have the ST or you can have the ST line, which isn't the same, but it has the same looks. I'd go for that one though. Can I see your tint? Oh yeah, tint wall and the sprayer. Okay, so we have a few things. Which wall? The one with the boxes or the one with this? This is a clever little film rack here. So this is actually called the tint rack. They put end caps on the rolls of film. See that? These just pop in and out. Clip these in, and then you can just shoop. That's nifty. I like that. For the keg, let me talk about the keg here. I gotta get a stool so you guys can see what's going on. So you don't have to use this overbuilt awesomeness, but you can. So this is called the tint keg. It's a 3-gallon sprayer. It comes from a company called Sun Distributing, but if you search tint keg, you can find them. They have really nifty and easy disconnects. See, quick disconnects. So this has pressure. So this has air pressure in it. I fill it with my slip solution about this high. Then the rest of it is air. You have, so let's show you guys the inside. So we let all that air out. We open this up. This drops in, turns, comes out, and then that's where all the slip solution is. Pop that back in, tighten it up, clamp it down. This is my pressure release. So when it's up and like that, then it lets out the air, and then you close it back up. This is also a safety air release too. So if you overfill it like over 100 PSI, it's gonna let that out. It's not gonna keep filling up and then explode. The quick disconnects are awesome. So you can use these whether or not there's pressure in this, but if you have a shop keg, or sorry, a shop sink all the way across the room, then you can unhook these. You can choose 1 or 2 sprayers. I like 2, 1 for each side of the car, but if you're mobile, you only need 1. Then you take some air pressure. So this guy right here, valve stem up top. You hear that hiss, fills up. So I have it set to about 90, and then once it stops hissing, that's when it's all completely filled up to 90. As a corny keg, homebrewers use it. Yes, these come from the brewing industry. Window tinters are a bunch of alcoholics anyway, so it fits. And yeah, then let me show you the sprayers. So you guys mostly saw the sprayers. This is the nice brass one. There's little really cool things about it, like it's got a swivel. Brass fittings and stuff are not cheap, so this is really, really nice. You can spin it around. This has an adjustable. I can turn it into a laser beam. Pew, pew. And then it's got a little filter in here, which is pretty great. So you just got spray for days. It's really nice. So if you can use like a spritzer bottle. Oh, look at that. You know a whole lot about these. Yes, they do. They came from the soda industry. Ball lock was used by Pepsi, and I didn't know who used what, but that is awesome to hear. Yeah, pin locks are old. They don't make the pin locks anymore. Everything changed to the ball lock connectors, which are these. But they do the same type of thing, really. Very, very solid things, or solid spray tank system. All stainless steel and brass parts. Appreciate you. All right, so this is 20% on all the sides. So you can see it looks a lot darker when everything's all buttoned up. When this is opened, and when we're looking through it like that, you can see now it looks lighter. Tint, believe it or not, will look the same on both sides of the car, in or out. See? But then when you close it, all that's dark, so then you get this real dark effect where you think that the film is darker than it actually is. But still, 20% adds a decent amount of privacy. You can basically see silhouettes and stuff, not as much detail in there. but angles do matter. So when you're looking kind of into the cabin at an angle, it always looks darker. But yeah, turned out pretty sweet. 5% is best. How about 2? You want 2? Do you want to see a 2%? Dang, I should keep my samples around. I have a 5% and a 2%. So whenever somebody's like 5, I'm like, have you seen 2? This is 2%. Is freaking dark. Invite to, I don't want. Decline. Look at this. You see how dark that is? That shit dark. It depends on where you put it in front of the camera though. See that exposure adjusting? It's very dark. It's good stuff. I'm buying the 2. Nice. Don't worry. Then we'll do 1% after that. Twice as dark. Yeah, it's pretty stupid dark. I've only done that on a couple cars. It's as dark as my gamer. I like that. What brand and how big is your plotter? I use GeoShield window films. The plotter is called a Workhorse 2. I can show you guys that too. Plotter machines, I get asked a lot, why don't I use plotters all the time? On back windows, on quarter windows, they're generally a little bit more reliable. On door windows, it just kind of depends. Sometimes I don't get quite the cuts that I want, but this is a 52-inch wide machine. I can feed the film through here, cut out all my patterns, and the problem is I don't always know if those door windows are going to have a real nice fit from, up along the top of the window. So make sure all my gaps are covered. Make sure everything looks. I know what I'm going to get when I'm hand cutting it, which is why I always opt to hand cut doors. But for the rear quarters and the back glass, plotter is still a great option too. So it just depends. Lots of shops run off of plotters, but if you got a little extra time sometimes or you're efficient at hand cutting is just going to give you an exact fit every time. Alrighty. Well, thanks so much for hanging out today. I'm going to have to call this customer, cash him out and everything, and I've got a couple other things to do today. So how's it 2% to shrink on a back window? 2% is great, and what's really surprising about it is the coloring is just like very neutral. It looks really, really good. So that 2% was from Tint Depot. It's not a GeoShield film. Tint Depot has a carbon 2% and a ceramic 2%. 2% carbon is going to block out a ton of friggin' heat. All right, guys, I hope you have a good one. Thank you so much for hanging out. I will see you in the next one. Oh, if you're looking for tools and stuff, a few quick shout outs. 313tint.com. We have a little store here. Everything that you saw me use, you can find there, along with Tint Depot. Wow, look at that. Thank you. And Sun Distributing. Sundistributing.com. All good places to buy film and tools from. So if you like the stream and everything, check those places out. Bio, all that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. Well, that was cool. And we're still on YouTube. How you doing, YouTube? How'd this stream go? I know you guys want to see, what's it called? GoPro, I think. But I wanted to try this just because TikTok liked it so much. On YouTube, we've basically had an audience of only GoPro forever, so I'm not expecting that it's going to work quite as well. But I thought it'd be fun to at least do it and then see how it goes. Did everything like work for the entire length of the stream? I hope so. Where's my chat? Why isn't my chat here? That's like super goofy. GoPro's the best for sure. I gotta figure out how to integrate both of them together. I really don't want to do like the head mount GoPro at the same time trying to manage this. It's just so much. So it really does. It takes a lot of friggin' time to try and manage both of these together. Why do I have a microphone? I don't need this anymore. I look more professional with it. No, I'm gonna put this on here. So I wanted to do YouTube streams. It's just TikTok is like a completely different animal right now. So while the viewership is insane there, there's gonna be more live streams on TikTok. And I'm trying to figure out how to merge the two together. The audio and video aren't merged together either. Hang on. Let me do something and tell me if this is worse or better. That's good feedback. These things you don't really learn until you try them. So we're gonna try a clap. You tell me if this is, it looks worse. But I don't know. Is that worse? Let me know. Oh, wait. Worse. Okay, so I did do the right thing. Okay. Now, I don't think I got it. Oh, wow. I'm just confused now. I don't even know. Let me try going higher. That's goofy. I'm not sure yet. These are those things that you have to work out over time. Maybe I have to delay the audio. Holy shit. That doesn't make sense. Video, no. Should delay the video, and then you see the audio delay. I don't know. Shit's weird, man. So I'm using the microphone in the same feed, and for whatever reason, they're not getting synced at the PC, which is very unusual. Your audio is delayed compared to the video. Yeah, I see that, and I'm trying to fix it, and I don't know what to do yet. From a past stream, you mentioned license plate, I be cheap. That's actually really good. I be cheap. Put that on the back of the Model 3. That's hilarious. I mean, the GoPro will be synced, and the GoPro is a good POV, everything like that. I just don't know. Maybe I'll try a chest cam and see where that goes. No, that's still not great. It's like head cam or nothing. Ah, I hate this. I gotta think about it. Because it's a lot. I'm like 100% streaming on TikTok, but here's the thing. TikTok doesn't want to see the GoPro view. So if I stream normal right through a tablet or a phone, TikTok is fantastic. That's what they want to see. So I can understand doing the GoPro, but there's a few challenges. The aspect ratios from YouTube and TikTok are different. I've tried mixing both of them together, and it's just tricky. So I'm not quite sure what to do yet still, other than just put the GoPro headset on and just kind of like do both at the same time, but it's a lot, man. I don't know. I keep spinning around in circles. But audio is a whole nother problem right now. So if I... Almost. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Hey! I think we're good now. I was reading this wrong. I thought it was like a half second. No, you weren't. When you said like 3, it's like actually a full 3-second delay. So this entire time that I was reading this feed, I was reading it wrong. Wow, what a difference. So basically what I did is I delayed my video feed by like 3 seconds. I was doing it by like 300 milliseconds, and that wasn't near enough. So when I would see the meter, I was also doing other things. I had to be quiet for a long time and actually wait. So that's funny. That probably really impacted today's stream. You know, having a good old 3-second delay on everything. That's a bummer. But I can't hear my own audio, so I don't know this till after the fact. Yikes. But I don't know. I gotta figure this out. At least we figured out audio right now. I don't have any good answers. Every time, I just want to be able to like lighten up this headset again. So I wouldn't mind putting the GoPro back on or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know if I would have had the time to focus on it, which is why I just kind of like ended TikTok and went on here so I could think about it for a little bit. So if I could lighten this up a little bit more, that would be great. I can look back into GoPro RTMP stuff and see if it's more reliable than it used to be, but it's probably not. But if I can just use this, it's not so bad. Or if I can just use this whole, look, I mean, look at this. It goes up and down. It's great. It's cool. So my idea was to like use this together so you don't have the GoPro thing, but you still get the full live stream thingy on YouTube. But I know there's people that are gonna like the GoPro angle better. I guess the only other, what, you wear this, you take like the battery pack off, you take the wireless transmitter off, and you like run that down and put it in like my tool belt or something. That's one way to manage it a little bit. Still not great. Should look up like chest mounts and stuff like that. Maybe that'll be okay. Because it is interesting doing like one angle on YouTube and the other angle on TikTok. See if they have any other interesting head mounts or chest straps or something. They have a wrist strap. Because they have a lot of problems with that. Backpack strap, ball cap. Oh, there's so many. All right, I might have to think about this. Oh, this is interesting. It's a little like necklace mount. I bet the idea is great, but I bet in practicality it's stupid because it's gonna bounce around all over the place. Okay. All right, I'm gonna think about this. We'll figure it out. Alrighty, dudes. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna hop off here. I gotta actually call this guy back and everything, figure that all out, and then I got some technical stuff to work through because I have no idea what I'm gonna do.